Montana State Volleyball is making history, guys, for the first time in not only their program's history, but also Big Sky history. They are advancing to the Fab Four in the NIVC. I'm here with head coach Matt Hauk and captain Kira Thompson. Guys, congratulations. It's been so fun to watch you advance into this tournament. Coach, I'm going to start with you. What's been the secret to success here?
One thing this team committed to was the act of getting a little bit better every single time they came in the gym. And I think because of their commitment to that, it's allowed them to grow as the season's gone on and, to finally in the last third of the season kind of reach a point where I think they figured out a little bit hey, this is who we can be. This is our competitive advantages. And if we lean into these things, maybe we can give ourselves a chance every single night to, get the outcome that we're hoping for.
Kira, anything to add there?
No, I think you nailed it.
I want to talk about your performance in your win over Wyoming, Kira. I'm going to read off the stats here. Had over a 300 hitting percentage, 24 kills, 3 aces, 10 digs, 3 blocks. I mean, you played lights out to no surprise in that game, as well as your other 2 prior to that one. What has been working for you?
Not only myself, but the team as a whole. Wyoming was a pretty competitive team, and I think we enjoy playing that high competitive volleyball team. And so they definitely pushed us. And after that first set, we pushed back and just kept rolling from there.
How impressed are you with your team's ability to respond after the Big Sky tournament and play in the way that you have?
For sure. In that conference championship match, losing 15-13, breaks your heart a little bit in that moment. And it hurts, and it should hurt because we put our souls into this thing, right? And so it was really cool to see, to get into the room on Sunday night and see if our name was going to be called for the NIVC, and then hear it and then come back in the gym on Monday. I think Monday's practice after that was actually a little weird. I think everyone was a little bit what's going on, right? No, this team had never played December volleyball before. And so we had to kind of get through that. Everyone was still feeling it a little bit from the loss. And now all of a sudden they're telling us we got to play again. And what are we going to do with that? And I think we just leaned into each other, hey, this is where we're at. And what a cool thing. You're the first team that ever gets to represent Montana State in the postseason. And so let's go find out. Let's go find out what we're made of right now.
After conference tournament, that put obviously a sour taste in our mouth and our coach's mouth and the fans' mouths. But I mean, realistically, there's only 2 teams in the whole country that get to end their season on a win, and so we want to be one of those teams, and that's kind of what the team just keeps pushing for. We're not ready for season to be done yet.
Coach, you've played December volleyball before. Why is it so important for the future of this program to be not only playing in this tournament, but to be playing in the way that you are right now?
It goes all the way back to when, Leanne and I were going through the interview process, trying to figure out if I was the right person for this job. And, one of the things that I wanted is I didn't want to be at a place where mediocrity was okay. And I don't think Leon wants to lead an athletic program where mediocrity is okay. And so, it was a good fit for both of us. And I thought the infrastructure was in place here at Montana State for Montana State volleyball to take the next step forward and to be a team that competes for conference titles every year and plays volleyball in December. So it means a ton. It means a ton for the future of this program. But ultimately, it means so much for the current athletes that are here. I mean, these are the athletes that have done it. These are the athletes that have put in the work in the last calendar year to get themselves into a position to have this opportunity.
Your coach mentions this particular group of athletes. How do you want your senior class in particular to be remembered moving forward?
Matt kind of hit it on the dot. We want to be kind of the first team that set this thing in motion. And, so for this entire team, it's encompassed this last year, but for the senior class, it's been 4 or 5 years of work that have gone into this. So
you are in Kansas as we speak. This is week number 3 on the road. Key points on moving on to semis and beating Wichita State on Saturday. And then also I got to know who's the best person to travel with and who's the crankiest or maybe high maintenance. I want to know take Bobcat fans along for the ride of the last 3 weeks.
All right. Well, I could talk a little bit about what we need to do. First of all, we need to continue to be the consistent team that we've shown up to be the last, 5-6 weeks of this season. We need to hit a good serve. We need to take care of first contact, and we need to continue to have hitters that approach this thing with a ton of bravery. And I think that's what our offensive system has been. They understand that, like, hey, I might feel some nerves, or I might be a little anxious right now, but I can respond to that feeling. And I think if we can continue to be that kind of group, then again, we will give ourselves an opportunity to have the chance to do what we want to do.
Best person to travel with is maybe Audrey Hofer. She kind of rolls with the punches pretty well. She's always in a pretty good mood. So I'd say she's probably one of the easiest girls to travel with on the team. One of the hardest, I'm going to have to give it to Kelly Cross, because we have a lot of early mornings and she does not like waking up early. So that's really the only thing there, is she's not an early morning person. And we've been up at the crack of dawn multiple times this season to travel.
Yeah, as well as we know, right? Getting around in the Big Sky Conference isn't necessarily the easiest conference to travel to. And
oh my gosh,
so, they handle it well. But yeah, there's been a few 5 a.m.s in the airport this year. Luckily, down the stretch here, we've had a little bit better travel. We haven't had a lot of early mornings down the stretch here. But maybe the person we need to give it up to the most is our director of volleyball operations, Cassidy Schumacher. Man, she's been crushing these last 3 weeks here with just turning this stuff around. I mean, you end that match at Wyoming and they're like, 5 minutes after the match, you're like, all right, you're on a flight at 5:38 to Kansas on Thursday. You're like, all right, here we go.
Who created the "We ain't done yet" hashtag?
I've been saying it, but I got to give credit. This goes all the way back to high school for me. I was lucky enough my sophomore year in high school to play on a high school baseball team that went undefeated and went to the state championship game. And we had a senior on that team by the name of TJ Carlson that after every win that year, he was like, we ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. And that has just stuck with me all through the years. And I thought this was a perfect time to pull out a little quote from TJ Carlson back in, 1995 or something like that. So that's what we've just been trying to do. Here we are. We ain't done yet.
TJ Carlson making an impact on the Montana State volleyball team. I love it, you guys. Congratulations. Keep balling. We're rooting for you at the Big Sky, of course. And I hope you continue to make some history. So we ain't done yet. I like the hashtag. I'm gonna start using that one too.
Love it.